Hey, so this year I'll be recommending the Humane League for Project for Awesome, and I'm gonna do a quick and dirty walkthrough why I think this is an important charity to um, donate to, and I hope you're gonna vote for it this year. So, starting up, like, what's a good reason to donate to a charity that cares for animals and tries to improve their welfare? I'm going to start by one of Peter Singer's important philosophical ethicist, one of his important writings from Practical Ethics from 1979. And he makes a point over here that it's a prejudice is no better founded than the prejudice of white slave owners against taking the interests of blacks seriously, basically to not care about animals or to put them on a much lower footing, their welfare, than that of humans. It's just the basic idea of like equal consideration of interests. Animals have interests too. They have their own needs. They have their own forms of suffering and pain and things they're attracted to and things that deter them. And since this tends to be neglected more by people, especially when it comes to farm animals, this is something to look into. First, I'll just start with some, because this is all very dry and text-based. I'm going to start with some slightly more emotional photos, looking at especially how chickens, their conditions are in factory farms. If you look at this, well, this is a quick Google search. Crowded, probably most of this is the US, where the Humane League, which I'll be recommending today, does a lot of the work. And you just see how crowded these spaces are. Like, you see the feathers being pecked off here because they're all like crowded together in a cage. And it just keeps going, it keeps going. That's kind of terrifying. And they're not as cuddly or cute as pets, and that's exactly why I'm recommending you to vote for this charity, the Humane League, because if you look at this diagram here for animal charity evaluators, if you compare shelters, so there's this green spot in here, how much gets donated to that versus farmed animals, which is this tiny little, what is it, aqua rectangle over here. This is crazy, because if you look at the number of animals that are actually being used and killed, most of that comes from our farmed animals. So basically there's a lot of money going to shelters, which is of course like you're caring for pets and cats and dogs and animals we should care about as well. But you know, if you look at how we're actually neglecting farm animals, that's probably the place you should look at if you really want to make a difference in the lives of animals. And I'm just going to the recommended charity list of animal charity evaluators. Right now, they do rigorous research. There's, of course, some things that are still missing or need to do more research into. It's still a relatively young organization, and they don't really have a lot of studies to base on, so I'll get to that a little bit later. But there's 3 charities I recommend. And it's Animal Equality, the Humane League, and the Good Food Institute. And I'll be looking at the Humane League today. It's one of the 3 recommended charities. So what does the Humane League do? The largest programs are corporate campaigns and grassroots organizing. Corporate campaigns, a lot of it's about just getting companies to stop having caged chickens, and making them actually go to cage-free environments, which aren't that much better, but at least, you know, it's a step in the right direction. And from there, companies can build on that further. And grassroots organizing is things like flyering, leafleting, getting people to switch to become vegetarian or vegan. And they also do like a back of the envelope estimate of like how many animals they're saving. Well, got it over here. Could do an estimate range, like a 90% interval thing, and it says like spans around -30 to 180 farmed animals per dollar span. These are 2 different animals, but most of them are chickens. I happen to think that even if you look at the average of this is probably an overestimate, something that I'm a little skeptical that they're actually taking into consideration, like false positives and studies and stuff they base this on, and model error. So it sounds very nerdy, but this is what notifiers are about. So if you want to look more into Bayes and priors and like being a little bit more rational here, then this is arbitol.com is a nice website to look at, and they've got a great look into Bayes theorem and all of that works, but I won't get into that here. Conclusion here, to end with a nice happy photo. Here, this is happy chickens. Well, these are actually knitted for chickens because the feathers got pegged off, so this keeps them warm. Probably not as effective as the Humane League, but it's a nice happy picture to end with. And I think we should all care a little bit more about animals, and especially farm animals, given how neglected they are. And I think voting for the Humane League will be a good solution. Okay, hope you enjoyed watching this.